Hey everyone, happy Giving Tuesday! My name is Kelp. I'm one of the development coordinators at Camp Kesem at the University of Vermont, so I help plan Giving Tuesday. And for those who don't know, Camp Kesem is a national organization that's a nonprofit that supports kids whose parents have been affected by cancer, and we provide year-round support for the kids and have a week-long summer camp free of charge. So head over to our Classy page if you haven't done that yet. And today I'm going to be leading you through painting a classic Burlington sunset at the waterfront. And these blue mountains and pink skies are going to make a perfect holiday gift, so let's get into it. Today I'm going to be using gouache, which is a medium that's kind of in between acrylic paint and watercolors. So the techniques can be applied to both of those too, but please use whatever materials you have, pens, pencils, markers, whatever you've got. And take my guidance with a grain of salt. Feel free to be creative and do just whatever works best for you. So to start, I usually tape off a rectangular piece of paper so the lines are clean, but this isn't necessary. Once you have your paper ready, mark 2 lines in pencil horizontally, dividing your paper into thirds. Next, you'll want to just roughly sketch in what you want your mountain scene to look like the silhouette of the mountains. Here's what mine looks like, and feel free to pause at any point in the video. I also left in a place that I'm going to leave white for a small sailboat. Now we're going to mix colors to get the mid-tone of the blue for the water that we want. I want mine to be a little darker, so I'm going to add this green color. Oops. Haven't opened this one in a while. It's okay, you can just mix it up. Now I'm going to go in with this color and begin to make the middle color parts of the waves in this bottom third. Here I'm doing the bigger details in the front as the waves get smaller towards the horizon. Now I'm going to come in here with some water and lighten it up. I like to keep my brush strokes light and not super precise. Feel free to work out some of those harsher lines. On the top part of the third, just very lightly going across to make these little distant wave type lines. Now I'm going to go back into this with a different shade of blue. So here's the new blue I just added, and I'm going to take it and add it to the main blue I've already made, so it's a little more cohesive. So at the end I'll go in with a smaller brush and add in more details to the waves. But next we're going to be moving on to the mountain colors. I added a little bit of purple to this main base color I still have in here, as well as this darker blue. Here's the first coat of the mountain that I did. I've gone in for a second coat and used that same colors to touch up the details of the waves. So I've gone through and added some background layers of the mountains. These I did with a decent amount of water, and then I've gone back over these a little bit thicker. While these dry, I'm going to start mixing some colors to get the pink for the sky. So I mixed this light pink color and added a lot of water and made a gradient from the edge of the mountains upwards. So I've gone back in and blended some of these waves more, and I end up lightening the mountains because the way the gouache worked, it kind of made a harsh line around the mountains that I tried to add some white to so it wasn't so thick. You can still kind of see it, but that's okay. As Bob Ross would say, I think that's a happy accident. I also went in over on this side with some black and gray tones to make this little jut out of land. I got my paper a little too wet, so I have to wait for that to dry to be able to work out the surface a little bit more. But I'd say the key with watercolors is that less is more. And sometimes the coolest part ends up being your tester piece of paper. And while I was waiting for parts of that to dry, I did this, which ended up being kind of cool too. Thanks so much for painting with me today, and I hope you enjoyed it and have a wonderful rest of your Giving Tuesday.